Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are looking at something really incredible, a complete, fundamental rewiring of how we interact with media. We aren't just talking about some trendy new app here, we're talking about how AI is literally shifting the very definition of entertainment. It's moving us from passive consumption, where we just sit back and watch or listen, to active, hands-on creation. And just to understand the sheer scale of this shift, 90%. That is the starting percentage of active users on Suno who are actually creating music on any given day, not just listening to it. I mean, think about that for a second. Almost everyone logging on is in there, actively making something from scratch. It's wild. Okay, let's dive into this. We've got a lot of ground to cover today, starting with the shift to creation, why full songs actually matter, the EP control layer, solving what we call the AI slop, and finally, the creative control graph. Section 1. The shift to creation, from passive listening to active participation. Now, a super common misconception you'll hear is that Suno is basically just an AI version of Spotify. Honestly, it's not. Traditional platforms, think Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, they rely on a really tiny creator class feeding this massive audience of passive consumers. You basically log in just to consume what a few people made, right? Well, Suno completely reverses the structural logic. The entertainment isn't just, pressing play on a final track. The entertainment is the actual magic of causing that song to exist. It's total creative participation. And you know what? This behavioral shift is highly, highly valuable. Suno has reportedly hit an annualized revenue scale of around $300 million. But actually, the revenue number itself isn't even the most interesting part here. It's the behavior driving it. Users are literally paying for the emotional reward and the pure play of making something. It's kind of like cooking. Sure, a fancy restaurant can probably make better food than you can, but people still cook at home because the process itself has real personal meaning. Section 2. Why full songs matter. Emotion over audio fidelity. Let's look at a really crucial product choice Suno made right out of the gate. It honestly would have been so much easier for them to just generate clean background music or high-fidelity instrumental snippets. But instead, Suno chose to optimize for complete songs. We're talking lyrics, human-like vocals, and a full emotional arc. Why? Because we don't experience songs as just sterile sound files. And this brilliantly illustrates why a technically rough, maybe slightly glitchy song made specifically for a 5-year-old's birthday is absolutely priceless to that family. Private emotional meaning easily trumps public, pristine artistic quality. But, and there's always a but, right? This explosion of personal creation leads us directly to a massive challenge. Once literally everyone can create music, how does the platform distinguish private value, social value, artistic value, commercial value, and of course, legal risk? This right here is the central organizing question of this entire new creative era. Section 3. The EP control layer, structuring the creative energy pipeline. So to answer that big macro question, we need to talk about the energetic paradigm, or EP for short. Now, it's absolutely critical to understand that EP is not just another music generation model. It's not just a fancy algorithm. It is a living, breathing conversion system. Think of it as the engine that manages the entire transformation of raw user desire, your prompts, your emotion, that inside joke with your friends, into structured, valuable, and lawful outputs. Because let's think about it. Without a structured conversion system, what actually happens? The platform fails. If you don't manage creative intent, quality control, rights, and how things spread socially, the platform simply produces a tidal wave of noise, endless legal conflict, completely wasted compute power, and this incredibly shallow virality that users are just going to abandon the next day. Let's move to this and see how it builds. To create a truly robust ecosystem, a platform has to navigate an incredibly intricate map. It has to capture user intent, apply constraint discipline to keep everything lawful, perform a massive search to find the best musical variants, verify the quality, track user identity, route the rights properly, and then filter all that social feedback. Every single one of these layers is absolutely required to turn a fun little novelty toy into durable, long-lasting cultural infrastructure. Section 4. Solving the AI slop. Reframing quality and governance. Now, we definitely need to address the elephant in the room, the widespread fear that AI is just going to flood our culture with low-effort garbage, what people are calling AI slop. We actually need to completely reframe this problem. The issue isn't mass creation itself. The real problem is a total lack of mechanisms to classify the function, value, and audience of what's being created. We shouldn't just be sitting around asking if AI music is universally good or bad. That's the wrong question. We should be asking, good for what, for whom, under which constraints, and at what cost. That's where the EP system steps in. It acts as this vital sorting mechanism, massively reducing noise by assigning the exact right pathway and quality standard to each distinct type of output. For instance, a song generated as a private memory or a quick social gift simply does not need to meet the rigorous, polished standards of a public release or a licensed commercial sync. By understanding the true underlying function of the song, the platform can apply the right constraints and honestly eliminate the slop entirely. And this isn't just theory. This structured governance is already showing real-world results. Suno's recent cooperation with Warner Music signals a monumental shift in the industry. We are finally moving away from those old, defensive copyright battles. Instead, the entire focus is shifting to format innovation, basically figuring out how fans can actively co-create with their favorite artists, using licensed elements, but within safe, controlled, and monetizable environments. It's a huge win-win. Section 5. The Creative Control Graph, the ultimate strategic asset. So the crucial point is this. If you're building in the AI media space today, here is your biggest takeaway. Raw generation quality will eventually become a commodity. It's inevitable. Soon enough, plenty of companies will be able to generate a high-quality song. A pure AI model moat is incredibly fragile. The true long-term winning asset is what we call the Creative Control Graph. This is the highly structured map connecting exactly what a user wants to make, the rights associated with it, who they're collaborating with, and how the whole thing gets monetized. That incredibly complex web of relationships and governance, that is what makes a platform unbeatable. We are firmly moving from a world of passive consumption into one of active, vibrant, participatory creation. And the platforms that win out won't just be the ones with the flashiest AI generators. They will be the ones with the absolute best systems to manage that creation. So I want to leave you with this thought to ponder. How must our cultural infrastructure adapt to make this massive explosion of creative participation lawful, repeatable, emotionally meaningful, and above all, economically sustainable?